at the time when you're still at Frau Witt's flat, and suddenly Sepp appears in the picture.
He appears.
Yes. There's 4 of you.
No, just a moment. Did I tell you how we slept on the floor in the kitchen? Not at that moment.
Yes.
Generally. And how every morning they waited for me to wake up. Did I tell you that?
No.
Because this is quite an extraordinary thing. Sort of on all sides upon me, that I wake up and not to forget my dream. So tell me, what happened today? What happened now? What happened? Because I had a recurring dream. Not every day, but now and again. And so they didn't want to miss it. I dreamt that I was at a conference with Stalin and Churchill and Hitler and Roosevelt, probably, the 4 of them. And I was translating from one language to another at that conference, not knowing the languages at all. And yet I was doing it. I was translating to English, to Russian, to German. And that was a conference for peace conference of some sort, which, never existed, but this was my recurring dream. And I can't understand how that is possible. That one, and of course they wanted to know, so what happened? What did they do? Are they agreeing, not agreeing? And really, it was an absolute conference, like at Yalta or something, How is it possible that in the dream you can speak any language? And I spoke them. And yet not a word did I know otherwise. Equally, I would dream that I'm reciting some poem. I had no idea about the poem. I didn't know the poem like this, and I never read it, I never heard it. It was a poem, an absolute poem. I was standing somewhere and I was reciting it. I don't know whether it was in Polish or what language, or maybe, but I have no idea now, I can't tell you. But I was reciting a poem. I woke up and I said, what was a poem? I have no idea. Strange, isn't it? I sometimes think about it because this is an oddity to me.
I have language dreams of them too, but it's not necessarily speaking the language I don't know, it's using the wrong language. So I wake up and I'm thinking, if it was this person, I wouldn't be speaking English, I would be speaking Polish. Why was I speaking English in my dream? And it gets all very jumbled
mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least this is your profession. This is something you do. But here, this child lying on the floor, and I'm doing the conference with.
But you were surrounded with all those languages. You must have, even if you didn't speak them, you must have heard
English?
them.
No idea.
No, but German and Russian.
Yeah, but I didn't speak German then to such an extent. Russian, yes, maybe yes. But this was it. I was translating for Stalin, from Churchill, and it was a normal thing. It wasn't something strange. It wasn't a laughing matter. It was a strange thing, and quite extraordinary.
So you were like provider of a soap opera of a kind for the other 3.
They I shouldn't, not to forget. The moment I wake up, I mustn't forget. I must tell them immediately what was the result, what happened. They say, what happened today? 3 people upon me. What happened today? Quite extraordinary. I remember when my late husband, Eric, died. It was in Salzburg, and I had to bring the ashes and everything here. It was terrible. And I wanted to do a service for him here, apart from the one we had in Salzburg. And I arranged everything because he had a very, very old mother here.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought if ever she would, and she was a very religious person, very God-fearing and so on, and so praying, So I thought if ever she should ask me, did I have a priest, a rabbi, or whatever, did I have a service, that I should be able to say yes, there was a service for. And I had this service here. And I thought I'd like to have some music. In the last minute, this was from this evening until tomorrow morning, suddenly it occurred to me, I never thought about music. I'd love to have some music. What kind of music should I have? So I started thinking, it's a bit late, but it was about the day before, not immediately, a day before, because I spoke to them, is it possible to have some music? And if so, can somebody play? And we discussed it. They said, yes, but what kind of music would you like? I said, I'll have to think. I am not sure. I don't know. And I was thinking and thinking and thinking, do I have a piece of classical music? Do I have this? No, my husband went on stage. Very often he sang on the stage too. So I thought I'd love to have something from his repertoire, from, something like that. And I just couldn't figure out, and I thought, no, I don't know, I haven't gotten, where would I get the music, and how can anybody play that which he sang over there in Germany or in Austria? So, all right, we'll do without. We'll have to do without. And that was that, and tomorrow morning was going to be the service. I went to bed, and suddenly, in the middle of the night, I sat up on the bed because I had the music in my head. That particular music which he sang on the stage, oh my papa, he was, that sort of thing, because he played that part. That was it. And I thought this would be very appropriate. This would be that's it, that's the song. Now, how am I going to find music now in the middle of the night? And as I sat there, and the music was so loud in my head, it woke me from my sleep. And suddenly I just got up, as I tell you, and I cannot explain what made me do that. I got up and I went to the small corridor there, and there were some music sheets that my husband had, which I completely forgot about before, because I could have, had I thought of it, I might have completely forgot. But suddenly, as if somebody took me by the hand, took me there, and I took out one thing without even looking what, opened up, and there it was. That particular thing, among all the other sheets of music. And we played it. Now, can you believe that? But this is how it happened.
Yeah.
That woke me up, this music in me, made me sit up. It was incredible.
Well, he knew what he wanted.
Yeah, but, as if taken by hand over there, and among all the other music, I just, took out the thing, opened it, there it was. That particular thing. These things are indescribable,
yes.
really. You cannot fathom what makes it. I don't know who can explain a thing
Mm.
like this. So
I think different people will try to explain it in different ways, but it's really how you see it, and
it's sort of an unbelievable sort of thing. So I don't know. Here we are.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Right.
Okay.
So, okay, I take my tea and then I proceed.
If you're okay talking about
Yes,
stuff.
yes, of course, I'll tell you. Wait till you hear that. That is totally an incredible story. This is totally incredible. No matter how I think about it, no matter which way I look at it, I myself can't believe that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it. So anyway, you know that she had, at some point, she had a little liaison with a with an army officer. He was a major in the army. He was a pharmacist. He was a very cultured, cool person. And when he was coming, he would come once a week on a Wednesday and stayed until Thursday morning and went off until next Wednesday. That's how it was. And we were never.
Were you not worried that he might?
No. He was. That was no imminent danger. Put it this way: danger there always was, but not an imminent danger, because he was a man of some culture. Maybe more than some. He was a cultured person, an educated person. And as I said, in those days, it wasn't that somebody would come and go to the kitchen. I mean, people just didn't. She did, but not. And so he would come, he would leave. He never, the door from the kitchen was closed. He never, ever. And we never imagined that he would. Okay. And then one fine morning, Thursday morning, about 6 o'clock, we were incredibly alert. I mean, to say that we were sleeping is saying too much. We slept and we heard and saw everything that was around at the same time, Suddenly I heard something under the entrance door, like a key. And completely quiet, didn't hear anybody walk, didn't hear the lift, but just under the door, a key in the lock. So immediately I woke up and I said, something is happening here. So we instantly put everything in and into the scullery and locked ourselves in. And there and then, screams and shouts and open up, at the top of the voice, shouting, 6 o'clock in the morning. What happened? He couldn't open the door because it was on the latch. It was on the chain. So he couldn't get in. So he got furious and started screaming. Open up. And she, poor lady, a woman, comes out. She knew, obviously, who it was, because, and we also thought immediately, I mean, who is it who is doing the key? And has a key to the apartment. We were in a state I cannot begin to tell you. The four of us, you could hardly manage two, and we were four locked in there. And she looked into the kitchen, nobody there. And she opened the door and said, "Why are you screaming?" He started running like a man possessed and shooting all over the place. Shooting here, and screaming obscenities, absolute obscenities. Where is this so and so of yours? Where is this, this obscene language used? And shooting into. Afterwards, she told us, he opened the bed, nobody there. He was shooting into the bed, he was shooting under the bed, he was shooting into the wardrobe, shooting all over the place, it was absolute horror. And she ran out on the balcony because she always said, "I'm not going to fall into the hands of the Gestapo, never." She put herself on the balcony and she told us afterwards that if he ran into the kitchen and if she will hear 4 shots, she'll jump. And he runs all over the place, wasn't so large, not so big, and comes into the kitchen, running in, and nobody there. And this is the door where we are. And he comes there. Our hearts, you could have heard them there at the corridor. I tell you, four hearts beating like with a... And the key is in the door, inside. We completely didn't think, or God didn't even think, locked up and finished. And he starts, banging on the thing, turns around and goes away, and doesn't shoot, doesn't say anything. The door is locked. He doesn't see where is the key or what, and it doesn't look in there. If he had looked inside, would be finished. And goes. Of all the places where he did not shoot, was that scullery. And the fact that he didn't hear us, the heartbeats, they were like this. I can't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And he went. And he goes up to her. She's on the balcony. He said, "What are you doing here on the balcony?" So she says, "Well, you're shooting all over the place, so I'm out of the way. I don't want to be shot by you." So yes. So where is he? Who? What? I don't know why you're shouting. I don't know who you mean. I don't know what. A lovely friend of hers who knew them both from before, corresponded with him while he was away. Not she, that other one. And she told him, and she said to him, while you're away, she's having a very nice time. She has a little lover here, And he, obsessional, absolute obsessional, it was decided that he's going to come and find them in flagranti.
So when he came, it was Thursday morning, I presume.
Thursday morning. So he arrived on the Thursday morning. She told him exactly when he comes. She described, he told her. But she wrote to me. I said, "Well," she said, "well, she was wrong. I don't know what she was writing about. But as you can see, there's nobody here." "Oh, well," then he said, "in this case, I'm going to stay. I have a furlough. I took 2 weeks off, and I'm going to stay." 2 weeks. He says, "In this case, I'm going to get my luggage. I left it at the station, and I'll be back." And off he goes to get the luggage. So you can now imagine the situation. She comes in. We are, I don't know what we looked like. I don't know what we felt like. I can't tell you because this is beyond. The fact that he was just going on the, and nothing, and the door doesn't open, and the key isn't there, and maybe he's hiding here. No, of all the places, Into the wardrobes he was shouting and screaming and shooting, but not here. So she says, what am I going to do now with you? What am I going to do with you? And we said, we don't know. And then my mother, my mother was really very wise person, and she never panicked. She was not one to, tear her hair out and things like that. He'll be back very soon. What are we going to do? You can't go into the river. What shall we do? So they decided that she is going to have two persons, my mother and the other lady. One is going to be the housekeeper or something, whatever you call it, the maid, housekeeper, cooking and doing things, right? And my mother will be her seamstress. My mother will be the dressmaker, because she was allowed to have one, So she's doing, not only she's sitting and working for her and doing things for her. And the two of us, he and I, in the scullery, and I sitting on his lap. And that's how. My mother said, I'm going to put this table against the door, scullery door, and we will be Ukrainians. We will not understand or speak any German. So, if he talks to us, we nichts verstehen, right. And that's how it was. He came back with his luggage for 2 weeks. We were sitting there, and my mother, and she was the other one, was cooking and cleaning and doing, and he was very bored all day long because she had to go to work. So he was bored, so he was coming into the kitchen and talking incessantly and telling them, they said, don't understand, didn't matter. He talked and was telling them how they're progressing on all fronts, how Germany is winning this war in Africa and in Russia, and on all fronts how they're winning. And my mother was only afraid that I might not burst out laughing, because sometimes it was very funny, situations were incredible and funny in a way. Because there he sat down and was, how are you cooking this? Show me. He was a home lover.
Mm-hmm.
He liked to do things at home. He liked to sit at home. He didn't go anywhere. He didn't bother to go. He was sitting there all the time in the kitchen. Now, can you believe this?
How did you sleep?
And 4 Jews.
How did you sleep at night? Like
on the floor.
So you would come out of the scullery?
We would come out, and that poor lady entertained him the whole night long, so that he doesn't, heaven help us, feel like a glass of water.
Yeah.
So she decided to make his life here very, very lovely. And she told him, look, you're on holiday, you're working very hard. I don't know if she knew what he was doing or not. I don't imagine he told her. And so So she would bring food for him. She would do everything. The woman was cooking and helping her. And then she said to him, look, and it's much better that they both sleep here instead of going, it's late and it's police hour, at curfew. Mm-hmm. So sometimes, they might like to sleep over, so they sleep in the kitchen. So don't go, because they're very embarrassed if you do. I'll go, and whatever you need, tell me, I'll get it for you. And that's how for 2 weeks.
That must have been
It was simply beyond comprehension. I don't know what we did when we needed to go to the toilet. I have no idea. I have no idea. Maybe we didn't need to go. I don't know how it was. Until today, I don't.
But you said also during daytime when he wasn't there,
Yeah.
when Frau Witt would be at work, you wouldn't go to the toilet either because not
No,
to make
exactly.
noise.
We
So-
couldn't. The two of us could
Yeah.
not.